basically with this given theme, we are organizing we have organized this webinar, that role of intellectual property rights in innovation ecosystems, which specifically emphasize to youth in business innovations and what kind of that IP culture is going on, and how that particularly inculcate this particularly growth in particularly economy in our system. So with this understanding, I just choose my topic, importance of intellectual property rights for the development of startup ecosystems. As you know that young minds or innovative minds is basically they are exploring different kind of innovations, and that innovations, if these particularly exploiting proper value propositions, so that particularly is developed particularly our society and developed our economy. So startup ecosystems and the role of IP is very, very important in today's scenario. Before going to my lecture, let us introduce my organizations to the audience. CSIR National Meteorological Laboratory is a premier research organization under Council of Scientific and Industrial Research. It has 37 laboratories, 39 outreach centers, 3 innovation complex and 6 units. Nearly 5,000 scientists is working, 8,000 SNT peoples. Total manpower is around 20,000. More than 3,000 PhD, 3,500 PhDs working here. Our budget is nearly 4,000 crores. Honorable Prime Minister is our President. Honorable SNT Minister, our Vice President. Dr. Sekhosi Mande, our Director General, and Dr. Indranil Chaturaj, Director of CSIR National Meteorological Laboratory, who are working in the area of minerals, metals, and materials. Now, before going to this particularly main lecture, let us understand what are the different factors which is the growth of particular startup. As you know, that startup is basically striving of the finance, because without this finance they cannot sustain their business. So availability of finance is major concerns, lack of formal recognitions, lack of scale up or expansions, access to capital, lack of latest technology, deficiencies basic infrastructural facilities, lack of skilled labor, raw material availability, and moreover, all the startup is working under competitive business environment. As you know, they has to compete with big market player, their competitor, and to sustain in the market, they has to innovate. So that I told that in this particularly competitive business environment, if startup want to sustain their business, they has to compete with this global player, global market player, their competitor, and they has to growth in their business to sustain that thing. And for that, they has to innovate. They has to access to the latest technology so that the product innovations or process innovations they can do it, and they can incorporate in this product so that they can enjoy the better margin or in the marketplace. And for that, they has to innovate themselves. They have to create it themselves. They have to make some kind of IPRs, and IPR as a tools, it can give their competitive advantage in the trade, in the marketplace, and value addition in their business. So what is the intellectual property? Intellectual property is a creation of the human minds. It is intellectual in nature. It is intangible property. You cannot touch it, you can feel it. It is exclusive right given by the statute. Attend to the limitation and exceptions, because once you file any patents, you have to understand what to file, what not to file. Under the sections, you can refer to that. It is time-bound rights government will giving you, maybe 20 years for the patents, copyright says 60 years and so on. It is territorial nature, that whatever the rights you are getting, that means if you file in India, your right will be valid in that country only. The popular form of the IPRs, I'm not going in details because you know every month we are organizing one-on-one webinars for focusing each items every month. 1 month they be addressing the industrial design, different aspect of that thing, how to file, how to protect, what are the legal provisions is there, what are the law act, everything we are discussing. Patents, copyright, trademark, we are discussing. We are not discussing in these forums, but this is the popular form of the intellectual property where the startup is basically take advantage of that. When a young minds, when a creative minds have some innovative idea, what he will do? Initially, he keep this idea secret. He try to get the matured this idea, okay? And the later stage, he have to check whether this idea can be patentable or not patentable. You can check under section, under relevant section of the Patent Act. You can check which can be patentable, which cannot be patentable. If it is not patentable, he may consider for protection in the form of copyright, industrial design, trade secret, and so on. If it is a patentable, then some kind of strategic decisions he can take it. If it is supposed, if he feels by reverse engineering it is very easy to reproduce by something, that means you are giving opportunity for infringement by others, then you can go for the trade secret. Otherwise, you can file these patents. You have the patentable ideas. Any creative minds feels, what I'll do it, whether I'll file the patents, whether I'll publish it so that other cannot file these patents, okay? Or I can keep it as a trade secret. You can have some kind of decision, nature of the characteristics of your inventions. If you feel is a public disclosure necessary, okay? Or it is very difficult to reverse engineering, then you can go for patents. If it is not, then you can check it. Is it technology is very changing very fast? If it is no, then you can go for trade secret. If it is yes, then you can again cross-check it. Whatever my development cost, that means IP cost. IP cost include that or development cost. Whatever that your experimental process, everything you're developing this thing. That means your project cost and protection cost. The IP cost is greater than that what are the review potential of your inventions, okay? If the revenue potential is greater than your IP cost, okay, then you can go for patent, otherwise you can go for publish, okay? So if it is not new area of the technology and licensing opportunities, still it is there, then you can go for trade secrets. So some kind of strategic decisions one innovative minds can take it during this innovation process itself. Now, IPR, it is basically helps the entrepreneurial journey. That means your journey in this particular startup, your entrepreneurial journey, in every stages of your journey, IPR will be an integral part of your journey. For examples, during your setup your business, patent, utility model, trade secret, then is any kind of inventions, it will help you financing basically on the basis of the inventions you just particularly your startup idea you got it, then you're looking for the finance. As you know, is intangible property you can use as a collateral. Okay, you can go to bank and bank will giving you finance for that. That bank you giving very easy loan for that, your inventions, or you can look for some of the government subsidy. So financing you can get very easily. Once you get the financing, you can go for product design, and that product design, if you have the industrial design, trademark or GI, it will help you. You can giving you the monopoly in the market. During your commercialization or marketing, all kind of intellectual property assets like trademark, GI, industrial design, patented copyright will help you. And during your licensing, all kind of rights you can use of that thing. And of course, during export that thing, if you enjoy this export potential of your products, okay, all kind of IPR will help you and giving you your competitive page and better valuations. So the entrepreneurial journey, IPR can be an integral part of your business assets. Now, In this journey, there is very common mistakes that startup usually doing it, knowingly or unknowingly. What kind of IP mistake they used to do it? They're not protecting their innovations. They are very casual in approach. Suppose if you have some innovative concept you have, and you design the products based on that and selling in the market. What will be the effect on that? Suppose your computer, by reverse engineering, if he protect before you, so he'll get the monopoly and you lose this market. And you have to seek permissions from him to market this product. So you'll get the loss of your business. They don't value their intellectual property. They don't protect their confidentiality. Suppose you are to making some kind of product, some kind of process, and making some kind of agreement with some company for fabrication or some product innovations. You're not maintaining the confidentiality, so that process information is getting leaked. You don't sign it by a non-disclosure agreement or collaborative research agreement during your transfer or any kind of information exchange. You don't particularly do any IP search and analytics. So you don't know what your competitor is doing, and you are lacking this competitive intelligence in this area, what about your product it is, and that is basically is not desirable. Unless you don't know what my competitor is doing, what my competitor products, I cannot value my product markets, and as well as I cannot get the better valuation my product in the market. And moreover, startup is not creating an IP strategy for the business, which is more important in IP ecosystems. So how to build this IP strategy for your startup, and why? What is the advantage of that? If you're building the IP strategy for your business, it's articulate how to use your IP to protect and grow your business. You can capture the market share and prevent your competitors. It will help to drive profit and expand the revenue opportunity of your business. It will minimize the legal risks. That means if you have to protect that thing, so you have the less chance of the infringement related issues. So some of the legal hazards, you can avoid it. You can position the company as a unique provider of the goods and services. Naturally, you have the monopoly in the markets. If any product is coming under that product, under that IP tags, so people will come to, okay, this is their product only because they are the IP holders. It will maximize your company return on investments to the shareholders. It allows the intelligence and insight to feed back to the core operations and thereby scope for the further product upgradations. That means you can build a lot of intelligence insight in your through the feedback systems, and naturally there will be a lot of scope for product upgradation or product innovations. It is the strategy will basically help to generate the market intelligence around your competitors, and thereby and position during your market discovery. So that kind of market intelligence you can develop, and as well as it will boost your company's valuations in view of the financing or the exit strategy. So that is a major benefit of the IP strategy if you are built for your company. Now, why the startup need this IP strategy? I just explained this, that the IP strategy need by the startups in two perspectives. Why this IP needs this, why this startup need this IP, and how to implement this IP strategy for this business. So I just making these four quadrant of the circles. One quadrant is a business view. That is why I'm just making this startup need for the IP strategy. In the business view, we'll explain that particularly why startup need this IP strategy in terms of the business positioning, technology mapping, lean startup methodology, and investor perspectives. Why this startup need this IP strategy during these exit and growth plans when you're going for IPO or acquisition or demerger or investor protections. In operational view, how to implement this, particularly how to make this a successful IP strategy by using most widely practiced IP toolkits by using these innovation circles or filing strategies, and you make their action plan accordingly how to implement your IP strategy. I'll just explain very briefly why and how that IP strategy can be built in your by startup in IP ecosystems. If we see the business view, that means why the startup need this IP strategy? In business positioning, that particularly strategy will prepare to further acquisitions. Suppose you making making some other business acquisition if you're making. So you need some kind of valuation of that company and what kind of everything planning you have to do it. So it will help. Prepare the future defense in case of some kind of the legal obligations of the company. Prepare hyper growth. If you making your company growth in very hyper scale, okay, it's extremely highly growth scale, then you need some kind of IP strategy in place in your business. Business partner investor, you're just making this thing for business view. Or if you make this particularly map the business to technology, that means you have to validate the white space mapping technology analysis, you have to do it. Competitive monitoring your positions, you do it. And for that, you need some IP strategy for that. Lean startup methodology. This is basically one of the format. You have to keep on experimenting this thing. Keep on experimenting these things, that a method of managing and building business by startup by experimenting, testing while developing product based on the findings from this test and feedback. And this is very useful when you're making some new product or new improved product in the markets. And that is basically this. By this way, you can instigate the technology pivots. That means a shift away from the original product or offering to something new you are providing to your clients or customers. Thereby, you are enjoying the better market margin. So this is basically that is that business perspectives why I need this IP strategy. If you feel that investor perspectives why I need this IP strategy during your IPO, when initial public offer, strategy acquisition or merger or any growth plans, you need this particularly IP strategy. That means you need to value your company, what kind of valuations you are putting, all kind of exercise you have to do it. Investor protections, okay. Suppose new player is coming, to protect your business margin or investor protections, you have to make some kind of IP strategy. So investor point of view, this is you have to make IP strategy like that. If you just tell how I just particularly that implement this IP strategy, as I told you, different kind of IP strategy toolkit is available. IP search and analytics, you can approach Nml Intellectual Property Facilitation Center for IP strategy toolkits. We are providing to MSME clients for that. So here you can, it will be helping you for making your IP strategy like technology landscape. You can do it by using your patent search analysis, state of the art search, IP landscape analysis, competitive and intelligence analysis, white space mapping and overlap analysis or gap analysis. These all kind of toolkit will help you building this IP strategy for your business. Now during these innovation circles, once you develop this, capture your idea, then you evaluate the design, then you launch this product in the market. This is the innovation circles. And then you timing of the actions, you can evaluate these things. And that each of these particular innovation circles, okay, you can make this particularly operationalize your IP strategy. That means you can validate this idea, novelty of freedom to operate, position the market, technology, IP, landscape, idea review ranking, drafting, filing, all the things basically you can implement your IP strategy in innovation circles. During this filing strategy, okay, Your filing strategy may be offensive or defensive. Offensive strategy meaning if it is a descriptive technology or early adopter or market leadership or foundation IP, you can make it offensive. Or if you make it for your defensive for your companies as a strategy, that you can make your filing strategy as a defensive. Patent troll is very good in business. One startup can also enjoy it. In that case, you need not to file on patents. You may be market leader, and maybe you can foresee what will happen in future. You can buy this particular license, this others patent, and you wait for this infringement by others, and through your legal suit, you can, or legal damage, you can earn a lot of revenue for that. That can also be your strategy for that. And also, you can decide when, where, and what to file. That kind of decision you have to point. Suppose when you to file, which country you have to protect it, and what you have to put, what form you have to protect it. All kind of decisions during this filing stage you have to decide. Now, during your action plan, okay, what you will do it? You have to make it, formulate your IP strategy, and you have to implement it. So how you make this formulate your IP strategy? You define your organizational overall growth, you make IP audit, evaluate the competitive markets, and long-range IP management plan, you develop it, and implement the IP management plan and measure. In IP audit is a very common phenomenon in all particularly IP firms. What are the intellectual property assets you have? Periodically you review it, you value it, you can maintain it. This is a part of the IP auditing process. All the organization is doing very routinely, and that is necessary during this formulation of the IP strategy. Now, what is the importance of the IPR as a business tool for the startup? Once you developed one IPR or IP assets for your company, it will turn your innovative idea into profits. Idea as such, there is no value unless you make this idea as a commercial propositions in terms of the intellectual property assets in the form of the patent, copyright, trademarks, and that particularly innovative ideas you can exploit in the market. You can sell, you can license, you can exploit these particularly products or these assets in the market. Even if you make it particularly for your making your own company, or you make it licensed by way of getting some kind of revenue for that. It will be used as a marketing of the business goods and services. As I told you, if you have a very good trademark brand you are making in your products, so it will giving some kind of competitive edge in the export marketing in terms of the particular valuation or branding. Even particularly if you have the brand, suppose if you are making good brand or specific any products, you can get some kind of market monopoly or better position in the market, or better market margin, you can say. As I told, intangible assets, these intellectual property assets, you can use as a collateral for bank financing. So you can access for the raise finance for your business. Easily you can get the loan from the bank. It will improve the export opportunity for your business. It will accelerate your business growth. Normally, for small player in the market, if you are making the exponential growth of your business, you have to innovate. You should have your intellectual property portfolio in your company. Otherwise, acceleration of the business growth is not possible in this competitive business environment. It is drive the economic growth and competitiveness. If you see this world, what about that particular economic growth is taking place? All are basically developing through these IPOs, or you can say that all kind of very innovative products, medicines, drugs, all are basically outcome of that patents. Okay, so it will drive the economic growth and competitiveness. Any kind of breakthrough solutions of the global challenge, it is basically intellectual property helps to bring these things. And patent will already discussed. So it will be also used as a business tools as a startup. If you want to not innovate it, okay, you want to make some kind of market leader visionaries, take as a profession as a patent role. So this actually we have discussed. Now, government has lot of support put startup for filing IP. Patent Rule 2003 and Trademark 2017 are amended to streamline this process to make them more user-friendly. You can refer the National IP Policy 2016. Startups Intellectual Property Protection SIIP scheme was launched to encourage innovations and creativity in startup. Under this scheme, 80% rebate for patent filing fees and 50% of the trademark filing fees is provided to the startup. Support for international patent protections in electronics information technology, SIP EIT offers a partial reimbursement of the expenses recurring in their patent filing. And Ministry of MSMEs support the MSMEs for filing and registration of the IPRs. And with the support of the Ministry of MSME, they have just with their grants, we have just set up Nml Intellectual Property Facilitation Center at Nml, and it is a single window platforms to cater that all kind of IP filing, acquisitions, exploitations need for that MSMEs. So any kind of new ideas, we are organizing different kind of every month awareness programs, and a lot of MSME clients are participating. MSME clients is also approaching our IP clinics for filing of the patents, drafts, or IP search analysis. We are also providing this upscaling, IP valuations, marketing, licensing, infringement monitorings, and different kind of technological services. We have tie-up with our legal firms and for filing, registrations, and maintenance of the IPs. So this is the nutshell what I like to speak it. So thank you very much. If any kind of query, I'm happy to answer all the things. Sudhakar?
Yes, sir. Maybe we'll take up questions at the end of the session so that we have a continuous flow of technical sessions. If any attendees have any, queries right now, maybe they can raise their hand and they can poke the question. Mr. Balaji Sahu, raised his hand. Maybe, sir, you can speak. You can shoot your question right now.
Sir, I want to know, can problem-solving case studies will be patented? Hello?
Yeah, please.
Is that clear? Can problem-solving case studies can be patented or not?
No, it can be. Patent is basically for any invention. Okay, any kind of business method actually, because if you use problem solving some kind of algorithm or methodology, it is coming under business method. Business method is not patentable like India, but elsewhere you can patent it. If it is patentable matters, definitely.
Where, sir, where it is patented?
See, business method, if you just take it as a business method, then it can be patented elsewhere. Maybe US or somewhere you can patent it. If it is a really good method of business method of business. Okay. But India, no.
Thank you.
Hello. Good afternoon, sir. Hello.
Yes.
Is my voice audible?
Yeah.
Doctor, hello.
Hello.
Sir, your voice is audible, sir. Yes, sir. Voice is audible.
Is my voice audible, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Please.
So, my screen is visible, sir?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, your screen is visible.
Okay.
Just start formally, ma'am.
So, with your permission, I can take over the session for a couple of next minutes. So, thank you very much. At the outset, I am very much thankful to the NML for having a joint collaboration program on this very auspicious day, that is World IP Day. And I'm sure the NML is doing a lot of work. They are providing a lot of facilitations and services under the IPFC. Sir, I am very much grateful to you for accepting our collaboration invitation and request. And also I am very much thankful to Mr. Sumit Kumar Mehra, who is coordinating on behalf of the NML IPFC for conducting this program. Mr. Sudhakar Rao, who is in constant touch and communication regarding this program. Sir, I go ahead with this program. So first, at the outset, I congratulate and to all the participants here on this World IP Day that we are celebrating with the theme of the topic is IP and youth, innovation for better future. Dr. Pal sir has very nicely, he has presented very specific and a brief and informative session. Well, there will not be duplication. I will be talking something about maybe the innovation management. Prior to that, I would like to intimate about the organization CTTC-BBSR. It is a central tool and training center known as MSME Technology Center under the Ministry of MSME, Government of India. It started in the 91. Over the last period of a journey, it is emerged as one of the best technology center in the country under the ministry. And we have been awarded recipient of the awards from Honorable Prime Minister for our contribution to the space mission, especially to the Mars and Moon mission, which is a very successful mission of the Indian Space Research Organization. We are into different activities, training, production and consultancy services. Training, we are conducting various skill development programs right from the school dropouts till postgraduate certification. Nearly more than 50,000 people get trained in a year. We do undertake various overseas programs in other developing countries in collaboration with under the aegis of the Ministry of External Affairs for setting up such facilities, capacity building of entrepreneurs, conducting various designing and curriculum for imparting skill development programs. We have executed more than 18 projects successfully across the world. We have highly state-of-the-art facilities in designing, manufacturing. In our production center, we do undertake various kind of designing of manufacturing, various kind of precision tools, dies and components. And we are the OEM supplier for the manufacturing and supplying of fuel system line replaceable units and various other hardwares, hydraulic systems and filters for the Tejas aircraft, the light combat Tejas aircraft, which is indigenously developed and inducted to the Indian Force. It is in very good high demand in the Indian Air Force. And we do provide various kinds of consultancy services, technical and management consultancy services for the startups and MSMEs for their capacity building, manufacturing capability building, prepare various kinds of DPR, detailed project reports, and also we implement various schemes of Government of India like lean manufacturing, design clinic, quality certification, incubation. We are having one livelihood business incubation center and one technical business incubation center for providing various incubation support services. And also we work as a nodal agency for the Spurti project, scheme fund for regeneration of traditional industries. We have now already approved 10 projects across the state in the different sectors. CTTC is the only organization of the Ministry of MSME which has acquired the AFQMS, Approved Farm and Quality Management System certifications from Ministry of Defense, Director General of Aeronautical Quality Assurance. Since we are into the various high-end manufacturing activities, we have backed various certifications like ISO 9000, 14000, Occupational Health and Safety ISO 45000, Energy Management 50000, AS9100 Revision D, and AFQMS, Approved Farmers Quality Management System from DGAQA. 5 years before, we had set up one IP Facilitation Center at our CTTC under the DC MSME grant. Similarly, a kind of a setup is very actively functioning at Nml Jamshedpur. Already, though duration of the project is over by last year, by 2021, still we are continuing our services. In addition to that, there are 10 technology innovation support centers established under WIPO, World Intellectual Property Organization in India. And we are fortunate to have one such technology innovation support center at CTTC-BBSR, where we do provide various kinds of support services for technology development and IP facilitation services to the startups, MSMEs, and research scholars. WIPO, I missed a couple of minutes in the beginning of the session. I'm sure this might have discussed, still I would like to brief you. The World Intellectual Property Organization, the global forum of the intellectual property services, which works in coordination with various government and non-government organizations with the international organization designed to promote the worldwide protection of the both industrial property like inventions, trademark and designs, and the copyrights materials like literary, music, photographic and other artistic works. The policy-wise, WIPO provides a global policy forum where governments, intergovernmental organizations, industry groups and civil societies come together to address evolving intellectual property IP issues. 26th April is celebrated as World IP Day. The event was established by the World Intellectual Property Organization, WIPO, in 2000 to raise awareness of how patents, copyrights, trademarks and designs impact on the daily life, and to celebrate creativity and the contribution made by the creators and the innovators to the development of the society across the globe. This 26th April was chosen as the date of the World IP Day because it coincides with the date on which the convention establishing the World Intellectual Property Organization entered into the force in 1970. As I mentioned at the beginning, theme of the World IP Day 2022 is IP and the youth, innovating for a better future. The sole objective behind this to ignite young minds and explore how these innovative, energetic and creative minds are driving positive change. Find out how young innovators, creators and entrepreneurs can use intellectual property rights to achieve their goals, generate income, create jobs and tackle local and global challenges and support community and national development. The youth of today are incredible and largely untapped sources of the ingenuity and creativity. Their fresh perspective, energy, curiosity, can-do attitude, not to mention their hunger for a better future, are already reshaping approaches and driving action for the innovation and the change. So the innovation is the need of the hour. It has been rightly identified that is the only youth in developing countries. More than 90% whole youth of the world, mostly more than 90% are in the developing countries. So the whole world is eyeing at the innovation ecosystem in the developing countries like India. As you know, in the 21st century is the knowledge management century. The new source of wealth is knowledge and not labor, land or financial capital. It is the intangible intellectual assets that must be managed. The key challenge of the knowledge-based economy is to foster innovation. That is what we are talking about. Innovation as the key focus of the development for the social, economical or technological development. So every country has built up, India is coming up with an IP ecosystem for science, technology and innovation, having the government, universities, research institutions and the industries putting together in a model so that coordination between science and technology policy and the patent policy can happen better. Innovation technology support centers. As we know, innovation is the creativity or the ability to make or otherwise bring into the existence something new, whether new solution to a problem or new method to drive or new artistic object or form. Innovation, the introduction of something new, a new idea, a new method or the device. So creativity is the idea for the action. Innovation, the creativity plus productivity. But the innovation is the idea, action and the productivity. It's not merely idea and creativity, it must have the applicability. Innovation is an invention paired with a process and the market. It has very close link with the entrepreneurship. The technology and the opportunity will be converted into entrepreneurship by the means to add value. So in the entire journey from idea to the market, there is a journey, entrepreneurial journey. Adding technology value with respect to the time and the value, there could be a concept, there will be feasibility of the prototype, patent application, working prototype, manufacturing prototype, regulatory approvals, and market introduction. So ideas into the opportunities like new product idea to the commercialization. This goes the different phase: idea screening, concept development, potential analysis, product development, test marketing, and commercialization. There are primary characteristics of any micro, small, and medium entrepreneurs in their entrepreneurial journey. First, there should be a passion for the business. They must come with an innovative idea. They must think every day in a different way, how to improve, how to do better. Product or customer focus. What is needed to the customer? What kind of problems are existing? Is facing or they're existing? How is going to address through his innovative idea? Tenacity despite of the failure. Execution of the intelligence. These are the key elements like process, intentional, there is change, value, opportunity, and the advantages. Innovation value chain, if you look at it, the applied creativity, the discovery, invention, and innovation. This is the goals. Like new ideas, knowledge concepts, invention, like invention, technology, and business model, and the innovation, useful implementation, commodities, goods, services, or experiences. That's why we are talking about the innovation management. Enterprise innovation is not only making the innovation, how to manage it, how to protect it, how to commercialize it, how to create wealth out of it. That is the most important thing. Enterprise innovation is a product innovation or the innovation management. It's a combination of these two activities. Innovation management, usually, this puts different questions before us as an entrepreneur. What, why, how, who, when, and where. If you can address all these, then we can fairly do our innovation management activities. Innovation management is about managing the different forms of the capital to create novel enterprise value. Intellectual capital and the value chain management are two important emerging aspects. One is intellectual capital, other is value chain management. When you talk about the capital, that is physical, financial, human capital, structural, political, cultural, intellectual. IP, intellectual property, is in indigenous knowledge, science and technology. It addresses, caters to the different areas, sectors of the needs in the area of the science and technology and also indigenous knowledge. The present ecosystem, the present system or IP protection system in India and most of the across the world is not very much friendly with respect to the protection of the indigenous knowledge. But still, there is a lot of debate is going on across the world how to give wide coverage to protect the indigenous knowledge, which is needed the hour, means the traditional knowledge. Is indigenous knowledge and intellectual property, many times it comes to our, usually when you talk about the IP, we always relate to the field of the science and technology. There is some innovation, there is some applicability, there is a solution to a problem. But there is a wide scope of the indigenous knowledge and intellectual property in indigenous knowledge, because the current intellectual property laws and the legislation in India and African countries do not fully protect indigenous knowledge. In some of the instances of the indigenous knowledge are misappropriated. So without proper recognition and acknowledgement of the customers. So the traditional knowledge, the scope and opportunity of the IP in the traditional knowledge and traditional creative expressions are also the intellectual property. So TK and TCs are creative expressions of indigenous peoples and the local communities. They are products of the creative intellectual activity, so they are intellectual property. Traditional culture expressions, it goes beyond. Forms in which traditional knowledge and culture are expressed, communicated and manifested. Maybe the tangible, intangible or mixed. For example, like songs, performances, crafts, names, symbols, art, narratives, designs, architecture, and workflow. So the traditional knowledge and TCs having wide scope with respect to characteristics, these can be handed down from generation to generation, either orally or by imitation. It reflects a community's culture and social identity, are often made by the authors unknown and are regarded as belonging to a community under customary laws, are constantly evolving, developing, and being created within a community. So, when you talk about the young ignited minds of the present evolution, we are leading toward the fourth industrial evolution in digital era, which is full of innovations, impact on supply chain, globalization, decreasing cost, higher efficiency of the operations, quality improvements, increased service level, etc. All parts of the logistic impacted. The smart manufacturing system that are fully integrated, collaborative manufacturing system that respond in real time to meet changing demands and conditions in the factory, in the supply network, and in customer needs. Manufacturing as a service, cloud-based manufacturing, high levels of customization enabled by the smart technologies. So the current research areas and focused areas in technological development in science and technology field, like sustainable materials, energy efficient material design of the manufacturing, molecular, microstructural, metallurgical transformation of the materials, self-healing materials, and memory alloys. Sustainable product development, energy efficient product, sustainability metrics for the product, like 6R based product design for sustainability. Sustainable manufacturing process, energy efficient, environmentally benign manufacturing process development, toxic free, hazardless, safe and secure technologies, minimal use of the metalworking fluids, chemicals, tribological interface science, coating, surface and subsurface integrity strategies. Sustainable manufacturing systems, metrics for the sustainability performance, ontology for the interoperability, sustainable supply chain, sustainable quality systems, energy efficient supply chain operations and manufacturing systems. Like similarly, society, public policy, and regulatory issues in sustainable manufacturing, sustainable service and healthcare systems, economic analysis of sustainable product and process. So intellectual property rights, innovation, to strive and thrive, you need to creative ideas. Be innovative, be creative for survival of your enterprise or sustainability of the business. Imagination is more important than knowledge. Passion is what gives meaning to our lives. It's what allows us to achieve success beyond our wildest imagination. So, regarding nature of intellectual property, already very nicely it has been explained by Professor Palsar. I have nothing to speak more about that. But why it is important, intellectual property for the small, micro, small and medium enterprises? As you know, the corporate houses, the big organizations, they have expertise in IP management because they consider IP, intellectual property, is an asset and it has to be managed. So they have the expert, they afford, they create a department, they put highly competent people in the organization to manage their IP assets. Whereas a small, micro and small entrepreneur, due to lack of awareness, due to lack of fund, due to several crises, he never understands the importance of the IP. It becomes very expensive. He gets deprived of this. So at the end of the day, what happens? The idea, the potential, the capabilities of the business idea of a micro, small entrepreneur or an individual innovator is being taken up by the corporate organizations. So that is why if a small an individual researcher, individual innovator or micro small entrepreneur understand the importance of this and gets and fit into the ecosystem, get the facilities and avail the services of the different facilitation centers, those who are in the government IP ecosystem, if you avail the services and able to protect its innovative idea, can counter the big organizations because of its legal rights. IP as a brand value for any entrepreneur. The importance of IP, very interesting story by John Towrett, chairman of the Quaker. He told, if this business were split up, I would give you the land and the bricks and the mortar, and I would take the brands and the trademarks, and I would fare better than you. Means the power of IP with respect to the tangible assets which has been created in an organization, in a company. Similarly, President of Coca-Cola Company says, if each building, factory, office, car, truck, one would burn down in a moment, the company could get back to operational, rebuilding and buying everything lost in 1 year due to the value and the profit generated by its intellectual property, namely the income generated by its trademarks, franchise, contracts, patent, licenses, etc. This indicates clearly the value and the power of intellectual property over tangible assets created by any individual or any organizations. Different types of IP are well explained. Let me quickly talk about few of the things about innovation management. You know, as a researcher, many times as Sir was mentioning about the white space analysis, market competitive analysis, very important thing. Many times the innovators or the micro small entrepreneur, the startup, they are come with an idea, but without having the knowledge about the IP due diligence. What is the value contained in his idea? Once he is able to identify, once he is able to find out the value, quantify the idea, value of the qualitative idea, then he can commercialize, he can apply, the routes become easier to get the funds from the different, for the approval from the different government bodies, or inviting the angel investors. So IP due diligence is a very important measure for the different startups and the innovators to understand what is the value of their intellectual property into the market potentiality, into the wealth creation, into the market share, into the other legal aspects. So IP due diligence needs to be taken care. I am very much excited to share some of my success stories during this. Here, we have provided support of IP due diligence services to some of the business innovative ideas of the startups. Those guys, when they put up this IP due diligence report, along with their all documents, before the USPTO representative and the other clients, they were so excited. They were so convinced. Within no moments of time, one particular startup was approved, approval for the 15 different innovative ideas. Why? Because the IP due diligence gives a clear information, clear value, potentiality of the idea. So anybody, any funding agency, any regulatory body, any authority gets a clear green signal. He understands about the value of the idea and gives a conditional approval. So anytime, any startup or any innovator, if you are putting your proposal of business idea for an approval or a financial grant, maybe the BIRAC, Department of Science and Technology, or Ministry of MSME, or any of the ministry, please, if your idea is supported with IP due diligence report, like market competitive intelligence report, FTO report, this gives a lot of confidence. It becomes easy to get it approval. For getting one FTO or a market competitive intelligence analysis report, usually the private attorney charge quite a good amount of money, because quite good amount of exercise is to be carried out by them. So that is why, in that case, it is not easily affordable by the micro small entrepreneur or individual innovators. That is why the IP facilitation services provided by different IPFCs set up under the Ministry of MSME or set up under different Department of Science and Technology or any of the department ministry, you can reach to them, we can talk to them, they can provide you this kind of services. So at very nominal rate, and this will support your business idea for getting it approval. Like if you make an IP due diligence, there's an example. There's a doctor who has already, she came with an idea of dental equipment development. We helped her to do that. She got, based upon that FTO analysis, market competitive analysis, and patent filing, she got 48 lakhs rupees grant, 50 lakhs rupees grant from the BIRAC. Similarly, we have done the application patent and design application filing for one of the local innovator who has done one chair for the physical challenge people. He has designed it. His idea was appreciated and he has received the award from Honorable Vice President of India. So a small idea, to some extent, IP protection can bring you a national recognition. So please open up your mind, give a thought about this, come think innovation in the process, innovation in the way of life. There's no doubt about it. So these are some of the IP due diligence reports. This gives a lot of information like who are the top patent assignees, who are the top patent inventors, top patent countries of issuance, who are all the researchers working on this, any legal dispute in which country, in what state, what are the different publications of this similar to this kind of business idea, what is the market potential. Your business idea may not have, it will give a clear indication. Your business idea may not have good potential for commercial in India, but might have the good potential commercial in Africa, or might have good potential in China. So that is why this will give a clear indication in the global database. It provides you the information regarding the value of an idea and where you can take it for the commercialization. IP due diligence is a very important activities. And so IP management strategy in universities, in fact, as you know, IP is such an important topic that innovation universities are directed by UGC to have an innovation management strategy and a policy in all universities. IP has been introduced as a subject, compulsory subject in some of the universities for the postgraduate level and the doctorate level, and also graduation level like BTech level. Now, so that has been, IP is that importance priority today. As you know, the kind of ecosystem government of India has taken the initiative to sensitize, to make the people aware about intellectual property rights, to support the young innovative minds for their innovative ideas, so that their innovation ecosystem will be developed in the country to support the slogans, the mission like Make in India, Atmanirbhar Bharat, vocal for the local. IP innovation goes parallel. Without IP protection, without innovation, no country can be technologically advanced. That is why the IP as a management strategy is not only for the corporates. Every individual, even micro or small innovators, micro and small entrepreneurs, they must understand the importance of this. Many times, the cases has come to the notice that some people, due to lack of awareness, what do? They infringe somebody's IP. There are two kinds of infringers. One kind of infringers, without knowledge, due to lack of awareness, they infringe somebody's IP, that they copy somebody's trademark, somebody's tagline, somebody's patent, somebody's design, and try to act as a smart entrepreneur. But unfortunately, though due to the lack of awareness, what they do, they suffer a lot in subsequent stage. The reason behind this, because the person who owns the IP right, naturally he cannot accept somebody is going to infringe his idea, he is going to take his business idea. So when he shoot the case, this guy gets penalized. So it is always better to know before copying something, while you are deciding for one trademark or tagline or anything, or knowingly or unknowingly, you should investigate. You must make a due diligence. You must find out whether any similar kind of trademark is there, some kind of trade is there, some kind of brand is there, similar of design is there, some type of anything is there. So you have to investigate. Then we decide. Otherwise, if you file, your application will get rejected, it will be objected, it will be rejected, and you may lose your money and all the efforts and the time. So it is not going to support the thing. So before filing any intellectual property, please take the help of the IP facilitation centers and the experts, those who will guide you, support you, so that you can file it comfortably and get it approved, and you can get their counsel. Some people, those knowingly, those try to act knowingly infringed. In fact, means today in the digital age, all information you can get on your fingertips. Everybody can know what is happening. So that is why it is better that get yourself educated. Never try to infringe anybody's IP or idea, business idea, or a short-term gain. It can invite a very big problem. Like you can see, many of the people are manufacturing spurious products, which are hazardous. You can say like tail, ghee, and many of the edible items. even detergents, powders, they copy. It is short term, but by the time when they are caught, they will be legally prosecuted. That in two ways, it is a criminal offense. So they will be accused, they will be convicted, and also they have infringed somebody's IP. They have copied somebody's design, they have copied somebody's brand, they have copied somebody's technology, they have infringed somebody's IP, which will put into a very big trouble, infringement, and quite a big amount of the fine, depending on the situation. So it is my sincere advice and suggestion to all micro, small entrepreneurs and medium entrepreneurs and young innovators, never try to infringe anybody's idea. So innovation management strategy as an IP, as a micro, small entrepreneur must be integrated as a part of your business policy and activities. To conclude, the message, the IP strategy should be an integral part of the overall business strategy of an enterprise and academic institution. The IP strategy of an organization is influenced by its creative, innovative capacity, financial resources, field of technology, competitive environment. But ignoring the IP system altogether is in itself an IP strategy which may eventually prove very costly or even fatal in today's competitive world. With this, I conclude my talk. Thank you very much for your patient hearing. And I will now hand over the forum to the NML, please. Take up.
Thank you, Dr. S.K. Sir. It's an honor to have you on board on this special day. In fact, the talk was very informative, insightful, and inspirational. I hope the youngsters have got a lot of takeaways. Maybe I'm pretty sure it will motivate some of young entrepreneurs out there to create some marvelous business incubations. Thank you, Dr. S.K. Sir. Maybe from participants, sir, if somebody have any query, maybe they can raise their hand. We'll give them the mic to talk about. If you have any questions, you can shoot here right now. Dr. S.K. Sir is there to clarify all your doubts with respect to incubation or innovation, IP protection or whatever. All right. If there are no questions, okay, we will take up the questions at the end of the session also. No problem. Now I would like to invite the next speaker, Mr. Sumit. Maybe no, Sumit. Yes. Now all yours. Please go ahead. Yes, you are.
Yeah, right now you can see my PPT.
Yes, you can play it in the power.
Okay. Yeah.
Slideshow mode. You can run the PPT in slideshow.
Sure. So the topic is like India and international IPR protection system. How we are generally protect in India and international level. So basically, in India, like patent, trademark, copyright, industrial design, and GI is protected by the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, which is under Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion. And under that one, Controller General of Patent, Designs and Trademark is there. And under that one, Patent Design Office like Kolkata, Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai offices are there. They are handling the Indian patent matters and design related matters. And while trademark registry is in Mumbai, Kolkata, Delhi, Chennai, and Ahmedabad, we have 5 offices. We are handling the trademark related matters, while geographical indication registry in Chennai, that office is handling the GI related matters. And copyright is also in Delhi offices, which handling the copyright matters, and SICI they are also in Delhi office. By patent information related systems like RGN, IPM, and Nagpur is offices there, which is related to training programs conducting, and for examiners training programs are related for that one. right now we will talk about the premier global IP international services, which is provided by the means, means our offices generally. There is like patent cooperation treaty is there by which you can file the patent from India, means like from outside, from other different countries. While by the Madrid system, you can file your trademark in foreign countries. While by Hague system, you can file industrial designs in foreign countries also. In GI, in GI, like geographical indication matter, you can file your GI related matters in foreign countries in Lisbon systems. And for like copyright related matters, you can file your different countries through Bern Convention. So, and you can, if you are any related matters like patent, trademark, industrial designs, Lisbon's, like a GI, and any copyright related matters has infringed, and domain related matter, then we can settle up like by WIPO arbitration and mediation center. So the aim is basically to be the first choice for users by continuing to offer cost-effective and value-added services. So these are the like patent, WIPO PCT, trademarks, WIPO Madrid, industrial designs, WIPO Hague, GI Lisbon, and dispute resolution by ADR, like alternate dispute resolution, and domain names also by ADR. So while by WIPO copyright treaty, WCT, by Bern Convention, they are handling the copyright related matters. So this is the milestones. While it is established in 1883 by the means of Paris Convention has been established, then Bern Convention, then Madrid Agreement, then VIRPI and Hague Agreement, then it moves like this. And PCT established, then Madrid Protocol, then Internet treaties, then patent law treaties, and then Beijing treaties, and so on, till now. So we will say like this is like Indian patent from if you will get your any innovation, intellectual property related matter in India, then these are the systems established by the WIPO or international systems, so, by which you can protect your intellectual property in international level. So right now these are the agreements which is established, which is done. And then like trade related aspects of intellectual property like TRIPS, which is you can see about this one in WTO.org, and Bern Convention for the literary works and artistic works for copyright protection. So you can get it in WIPO. The link is provided, and the Hague Agreement, like deposit of industrial design, so you can file through that one, and the International Convention for the protection of new varieties of plants, you can file through upob.int. And for Madrid Agreement concerning the international registration of trademark, you can file also through Madrid Agreement, like for trademark related purposes. And like through Paris Convention, like protection of industrial property, and patent cooperation for patent and trademark law treaty, and Universal Copyright Convention is there to protect international level. Then the regional offices has been established where we can also enter and we can protect our IP, like African Intellectual Property Organizations and African Regional Intellectual Property Organization also ARIPO, and the Arab States Broadcast Union, ASBO, and like Benelux Organization for Intellectual Property, VOIP, and Eurasian Patent Organization, EPO, which is familiar, European Patent Organization, UIPO, European Union Intellectual Property Office, and International Union of the Protection of New Varieties of Plants, UPOV, and Interstate Council of the Protection of Industrial Property, ICPIP, and GCC Patent Office for the Cooperation of Council for the Arab States of the Gulf. So right now, let's watch how we protect generally our IPs. So this is like suppose we are having the patent office websites. So all forms are, you can see all forms are available, and like new and you can file new PCT new application, and PCT national phase application is there, file form to file, some other forms are there. So you can file your type of application, conditional application, well, divisional, conditional, ordinary application, additional, like this way you can file in Indian Patent Office. While if you want to file your patent, like filing patent cooperation treaty national phase application, international patent application, and suppose some other countries want to file patent in India, they can also file through PCT. So they have to provide you the international patent application number, then you have to file here and click here from WIPO, you have to click and you can enter in the national page applicant. Means you can bring your client from the outside. This is the procedure. Then design filings. Let's see how we are filing the designs. Like some all forms are available here, so you can see this one. Like a new application and IDC classes. Suppose one IDC class is there and applicant type is there, you have to mention, and in this way you can proceed. Then trademarks. Like for trademarks, like if you want to file international label, you have to applicant name, address, mailing address, email IDs, and you have to mention this one, and appointment representative for WIPO, and goods and services priority claimed, and the mark you have to paste, and colors and miscellaneous, and the designated countries that you want. Suppose United Arab Emirates and all the countries have been mentioned, and suppose you want to file in Finland, suppose you have to click here, and then you can file that one. Then suppose means you want to file through WIPO, then you can means like you have the schedules of patent, trademark designs, and geographical indications, and plant variety, digital evidence, and all the mediation and arbitration, and domain name dispute resolutions, and all the systems have been designed in WIPO IP portal. There you can file, and here you can see it's a search option is there, file and manage option is there, inventor assistant program is there. Then you have to pay, and IP offices, different EPCT IP offices. Then trademarks, like same way, international application simulator, application simulator, applicants, mandated office protocol portal is there. For design office also, e-HAGU system you can see. Then geographical indication you can see, Lisbon registry is there. For plant variety you can see EPOB system is there. Then for digital evidence you can WIPO proof is there, and for mediation you have to WIPO mediation center is available. So in this way we can manage all the things, and for domain and dispute resolution some forms are available also. From by that way also you can protect your domain name and all the things. Then you can directly also enter in any kind of offices like website through our directory, like WIPO directory. These are like websites. You can see Afghanistan office, copyright office is there, and industrial property office websites are there available, which is in the WIPO directory. So you have to click on any kind of means like any of, suppose you want to like file in Bhutan intellectual property office, then you have to click on here, and you can visit the websites, and then like different copyright offices are available also. Then you can click on, and you can see the means office databases, and you can search also there if the patent is available or not, or if otherwise if you can search through our search database, the patent scope database, which is in the IP portals. So this is about all the things how we are protecting in India and international level. So thank you very much. This is about me, Sumit Kumar. I am a registered patent design and trademark agent, also a facilitator of startups for CGPD team, IP India government. Concluding this, I'm thanking you, Dr. Eskepal, for giving me the opportunity to present in the this World IP Day about intellectual property related in India and international, how we are protecting. And also thankful to Dr. S.K. Senior Manager, NSM Technology Center, CTTC-BBSR, for giving me inspiration about to deliver a talk on this India and international IPR protection system, how we are protecting. Thank you. If you have any doubt, you can
Thank
ask.
you, Sumit. That was very comprehensive. Yeah. Now I request participants, you can unmute and you can raise your question. You can talk to us. If you have any questions, any query or service related, no matter what form of IP it is, patent, copyright, trademark, design, GI, whatever. So you can unmute and you can talk to us. Or else you can poke your question in the chat box and we will take up your question. Yes, Mr. Rupesh, right?
Yeah, yes, sir. Sir, I have a question to me, sir. Sir, when we file the design patent, okay, so already I have filed one design patent. After that, I have done some modification in that same design. Okay, so both don't have any prior art. So when I will file the second patent, that to modification of the previous one. So is there any, I have to give the priority of that or something, any kind of things is there, or how do I have to proceed?
So let me tell you one thing, like patent is separate and design is separate. So design, on the designs works like suppose like any kind of bottle design, safe designs, you will get the protection. But like the patent is separate thing, which is like a novelty you have to establish, inventive steps should be there, and industrial applicability should be there. So patent is on the product or process. So but you are asking about design. So design is separate thing. So can you clarify which one you want to protect or where you are lacking?
Actually, sir, I have filed in IP, means like Indian territory only, one design patent related to our vehicle. Okay, so in same that design, we have some done the modification. So like some parts are like this, but what you call the scope of the design is same. So now
You
I have to
file design application. Design application.
Yes, I have one file that.
That is not design patent. You cannot design patent. Yes. That is design. Okay.
Okay.
So patent is separate thing and design is separate thing.
Okay, so now when I will file the new one, so I don't want to give anything that prior I have filed or not, like this, correct?
Yeah, that if you have got registration, then it will be protected for 10 years, and you can extend it. It can be extended for 5 years, more 5 years. So that is like 15 years you can get the protection. But for patent, you have to pay some renewal fee and all the things, procedures are there. So in that way, you can protect your patent. Means the internal mechanisms, some other things are there. Means your product novelty is there. Then you can protect through patent.
Okay. No, so one doubt why now, because when my design patent will go under examination, correct? So for that, when it is in under examination, so for that my old patent may it come as a prior or not, like this under examination when it will go for design.
Sir, design you are talking. So how you are correlating with patent? Design safe is design something other thing, and that if it is in examination, then they will not, means like that is like some periods are there. They will not correlate with your patent. Patent is separate thing and design is separate thing. So you have to completely differentiate that one. So nothing is there like that.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, Rupesh. Well, are there any more questions? Let me go to the chat box and check if there are any questions participants side. From Jyotirmaya. When investors stolen my product data and created another company, can we take some action to resolve it? Sir, you would have protected your idea. Maybe you can take legal action, you can go to court, and there are, according to the law of the land, the government can do the proper solution and to resolve it. If you did not protect it, I doubt you can take any legal action with respect to this. However, if you have proper evidences, conclusive evidences with respect to documentation, your idea and reports, all this stuff, maybe you can right? Anyway, it is in the public domain. Right now, you can't file a patent or protect your IP since it is in public domain. Maybe I doubt. Maybe you can consult a proper patent attorney or legal lawyer to take a proper advice on this. As I said earlier, if you have protected it, maybe you can approach legal. You can.
I'd like to begin with you, considering you're someone.
And then, yeah. So, Mr. Balaji Sahu has a query.
Yeah,
Sir, please speak.
Sir. Hello, sir. I want to ask a question. That what is the margin qualification that is required to open a research center in India and abroad?
Ma'am, you have to register through Trust Act and Society Act. You can make the research center and you can start your research works by like registration through MSME also. Society and Trust Act, they will consider it as a MSME also. You can get an MSME certificate also, and you can file in your research center name as the applicant, and you will be the inventor. It will be easy process for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. I would like to take this opportunity, to talk about Nml Ip Facilitation Center, which was established at CSIR National Metallurgical Laboratory, Jamshedpur in 2020. I would like to share a few success stories at Nml, with respect to IP Facilitation Center, what we are, what we do, how we can help you out, to protecting your IP, to help you the businessman or young entrepreneurs out there. So give me a moment to upload my presentation. All right. I hope you can see my presentation, isn't it? Did someone confirm in an affirmative?
Yes, your PPT is visible.
Thank you. Yeah, first of all, greetings to everyone on this special day, World IP Day. It's a great way to celebrate with CTTC-BBSR. CSIR National Metallurgical Laboratory established Intellectual Property Facilitation Center in 2020, officially on record, in the landmark location called the CSIR-NML-IPFC-JAMSHEDPUR. So ever since we established here, we started providing services like IP under the whatever the form of IP, like patent or copyright, design, GI, whatever. So we are giving services to MSMEs or individual or any startup out there. At the same time, apart from giving those IP services, we are also on a national mission to promote, to disseminate information with respect to IP and popularizing IP. In India, still IP is an alien subject. It's not very well discussed in our academic curriculum or in everyday research place. Still IP is, it's an alien subject that in fact, it took me, 25 years to hit the first acronym called IP. So that is a kind of scenario in India. So now the government is on a national mission to promote this IP among entrepreneurs, startups, incubation centers, so that to create an India of, on par with Make in India, Made in India. Now it's time to make IP India. So at NML IPFC, what we do? So actually, we through NML IPFC to provide support and facilities for drafting, evaluating, searching, and mapping of IPRs. We facilitate collaboration for technology tie-ups as well, upscaling of the business enterprises. To facilitate IPF transfer, commercialization through proper agreements, NDA agreements, licensing agreements of technology to entrepreneurs. To provide and disseminate information on best IPR practices, like we are doing every month one webinar to educate or to bring this IP to the common man, to create some buzz about IP. Also to advise beneficiaries on legal remedies available on issues such as IPR infringement, duplications of IPR. We have unpaneled law firms with us. If you have any query or any issue with respect to IP, we will incorporate them so that you get the benefit out of it. Also to help filing registration of IP applications through authorized patent attorney. To provide guidance in filing, how to file a patent, register your copyright, or design application, whatever it is. We'll give an advice and guidelines on that also, and to conduct a training workshops on various IP issues like we are doing today. So as I said, under the sun, any form of IP from NML IPFC, you will get the patent, trademark, copyright, design, trade secrets. In the upcoming slides, I will be talking about what kind of IP services we have given us provided to MSMEs or individuals. So far, we filed, I think this is not the updated slide, I'm sorry. We have filed around some 18 trademarks across the country. Few clients are from Bhubaneswar, few are from Jharkhand, some are from West Bengal, so on. These are details of some of the trademarks we filed. Just the list of patents we filed. Some are provisional patent applications and some are complete specifications. Out of these, a couple of patents have been published and it is available. The documents are available in the Indian Patent Database. So these are such patents which belongs to the domain of telescope reflector or something like that. These two patents are provisional applications that have been filed. These are the three patents belongs to orthodontics area. The three patents. These three patents have been published. This is one corporate application we have been registered for computer programming for an individual. So far, we organized 15 webinars wherein more than 1,500 people took part and gain knowledge in this IP space. So we keep doing that. Every month we are organizing one webinar in collaboration or alone to bring awareness among the masses. Well, there may be a question pondering in your mind right now. Why CSIR-NML IPFC? Well, there are a handful of IP Facilitation Center across the country, and there are plenty of patent agents are there, to guide you or to tell you how to go about it, how to protect your IP. Why particularly NML IPFC? What value or edge we have, being IP Facilitation Center at NML? Well, let me give some idea about this. Looking for a common national interest. We are not a profit-making organization. Actually, we are not a business entity. Actually, we are a government organization. We are here to serve the common man or the MSMEs of our country. We are here to uplift, to educate, to help our MSMEs for a common interest called, to build our country economy. Easy access to a state-of-the-art scientific infrastructure. At Nml Ip Facilitation Center, we have postal orbit patent database where we have access to patent database of more than 150 countries. So you can easily access this patent database in one go, where you can validate your idea whether it is patentable or not, whether there is a novelty or established or not, whether you can go for a patent or not, whether you're infringing or not. These kind of insights, analysis reports we can generate using this patent database. So this is an edge being coming to Nml Filings. And Web of Science. It's a non-patent literature. We have unlimited access to Web of Science at Nml IPFC, where you can, as I said, validate your idea through patent and non-patent literature. Vantage Point for big data analytics, where to create those, to take the unstructured data where you can create meaningful output from the Vantage Point, whether it is patent database or non-patent database. So Vantage Point is very helpful. So these kind of state-of-the-art scientific infrastructure we can get to avail or get to use. Easy collaboration and technology scale up. You can in any day you can walk through NML tours and meet a scientist of your choice who is working in your area. You can discuss your idea, how to go about it, whether it is feasible or not. If it is feasible, what kind of experiment you are supposed to do. And then if a technology is at TRL1 or at an early stage, if you want to scale up the technology, where you can take the help of our infrastructure, our intellectual inputs from our scientists, where you can scale up your technology, commercialize, or even you can commercialize. So working with Nml IPFC, so this kind of advantage you have. And unlimited access to the rich research heritage. We're a scientific organization from Ministry of Science and Technology, 70 years of rich research heritage, legacy, and knowledge we built over the past decades. So you have unlimited access to those knowledge heritage, where you can make use of it for your research or entrepreneurship development, or if you want even start for your startup as well. Connecting with other CSR labs to take your idea or product to the next level. Well, this goes without saying. There are 38 labs spread across the country. Every CSR lab is working for a common cause, well-defined research areas with a proper mandate. And every CSR lab, their research inputs, their domain of research is different. So we are here working at NML on metals and materials research or something like that. We are doing a lot of other diverse areas as well. So, but there are other CSR labs also doing in their own area. So if your idea or product or prototype, if it is matching with any other CSR research area, then we will connect you with the right scientist over there. So to protect your idea, to take your idea to the next level. So this kind of advantage we have if we come and collaborate with Nml Ip Facilitation Center. Well, affordable price with quality service. Well, people are giving you at affordable price. Maybe any patent agent out there giving you a cheaper price. But as an entrepreneur, as a startup, you should know, like, are your draft, or your writing style, have you established novelty properly, with proper prior report? Have you taken the report from the right person? So these kind of questions you need to ask before approaching any person. So any person can file having a patent as a tag, file it, but not everybody give you the right quality service. I mean, today, if you go with a two-page write-up, they can file it. But after 1 year, after publication of your patent, maybe if you're knowing or unknowing, you're infringing. Maybe your draft being rejected during the examination. So all your time, effort, you spent all these years, it's wasted. isn't it? So you just pick your service to whom you are giving, okay, to pick the right person at the right IP center, so that your idea can't be waste. Well, there are many. These are some of the points. I'll let you know. If you want to associate with IP Facilitation Center of NML, these are the kind of benefit you get. Well, this is all about NML Ip Facilitation Center. Thank you for your attention. If you have any query, if you want to protect your IP, or if you have any any query, any inquiry with respect to IP, you can write right now. You can take a screenshot of it, and you can save it for in future. You can write to us nml-ipfc@gmail.com for all your IP needs. This is Sudhakar Rao, co-convener of NML Ip Facilitation Center. Thank you.